Hi everybody, welcome once again to Corvette Nation presented by Mid-America Motorworks. I'm Bill Stevens with Maria Prekagis, and Corvette Nation is a show that everybody loves. Why? Because everybody loves Corvettes. Everybody's either had a Corvette, has one now, or wants a Corvette. And we're going to cover the entire Corvette experience, the history, technical features, and that new C7 Corvette. We are really going to give you a close look at that fabulous automobile. What else?
Well, we're going to dive into the Corvette lifestyle, meet the people behind this fabulous car, travel to some of the biggest events around the country, and see why it's still the it car after all these years. Plus, we're going to take a look at some fabulous Vette collections.
If you're ready, so are we. Let's go.
This Chevrolet Corvette and the other customized models are not for sale yet. They were built to give tangible form to the drawing board ideas of today, out of which may grow the shape of things to come.
Man, what a ride.
The most exciting hardtop model you ever laid eyes on. It'll be a pace setter for years to come.
This is a superstar in the Chevrolet sports department. 6-speed Corvette Stingray.
You know, for some time now, we've been traveling all over the country and beyond, profiling incredible Corvette collections and their owners. And that's exactly what we were doing with Lance Miller a while back in Pennsylvania. It was during an interview with Lance that I learned of a story involving the first Corvettes to ever compete at the famed Le Mans 24-hour endurance race in France back in 1960. Now, one of those Corvettes attained immortality by winning its class and placing 8th overall. And then it disappeared for decades. Well, that car is at the center of a multi-layered, heart-tugging story, which became the documentary film, The Quest. At the recent Corvettes at Carlisle event, our Corvette Nation cameras caught up with Lance Miller, restorer Kevin McKay, and the real star of the film, the number 3 1960 Corvette.
Kevin, I gotta tell you, my favorite car of all time is without a doubt the 60 Le Mans car. And you know why. Tell us the history of it a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, Lance, honestly, Dan and I go way back, and it was Dad's dream actually to own the 1960 Cunningham Corvette one day, because that was the year he actually graduated high school. And it's just amazing that a dream actually did come true.
Hey, we're fortunate to have it in our family, and I'm so thankful you found it. I just love the look of it. I love the red lights on the front, and it was red, white, and blue. I know Cunningham was all about that, you know, America. And this car stands for just that.
What's neat about the car also is that actually it's the first American effort for a Corvette, 1960. Incredible.
It really is. And again, it's definitely one of my favorites. I love Briggs Cunningham, great guy, amazing what he's created throughout his life. John Fitch, obviously became great friends. He's just the ultimate guy. I love him, I miss him. He just recently passed away.
Well, I tell you, we're very fortunate and blessed, both of us, to have a chance to go up there and follow your father's dream back in 2010 at Lemans, and having Fitch by our side, actually driving behind the wheel of the car. It was incredible.
Oh, think about it, 50 years later, and then to have a film made, The Quest. Michael Brown did a great job on that, and I'm thankful that it all came together. It's funny, I used to take this car to the show, people didn't even know what it was. And then after The Quest, everybody wants it. So it's kind of neat, the new history that we've created.
Well, you know, it is a part of history, and I'm glad that the public out there are getting a good education of what this is all about, because this really is American history, where we're at right now.
Kevin, I know it was a big job locating the car, and I commend you for the effort. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, after we're talking to your dad about his all-time favorite car was, you know, one of the Cunningham cars, and knowing that the number 2 car was found back in the early 80s, and your dad's exact expression was, when I first saw that number 2 car fully restored at Monterey and back in 1987, I almost fainted. That was his exact words. I said, you know, Chip, there's still 2 more cars out there. The 1 car and the 3 car have not been found. Let's see if we can hunt them down. So we went after it. And after some persistent efforts, actually, sending letters to Lemans, no response at all, I found out that maybe, since they can't speak English too well, maybe we could do it in French. So I went to a French school, had a letter drawn up, sent a bouquet of flowers in good gesture about maybe we can find out the history on these Cunningham cars. And about 6 months later, I was able to get a fax copy of all the serial numbers of all the cars that went to Lemans. And this car here was actually found in St. Louis. The guy who had it was converted back to a street driver. It was a red car, and the guy didn't have a clue what he had. In almost 30 years of restoring Corvettes for a living, full time, this by far was the most challenging. And the reason why, everything was missing on the car. Like I said, it was converted back to a street car. So the hood was missing, the Halobrand wheels were missing, the T170 Firestone tires were missing, the headlight covers, the louvers in the front, actually, the Sebring exhaust on the back, on the side of the car were missing.
Let's talk about these a little bit.
Well, I tell you one thing. That actually, they were actually duplicated from a Ferrari, an old early Ferrari from the 50s. Of course, the fighter seats, the seats itself came out of a fighter plane. Actually, they were jumper seats. And if you notice, a lot of things were even de-chromed on the car. But one of the most interesting things that I like about the car is that the wiper assembly itself, usually, as you know, on early Corvette, almost any year Corvette, they're always on the outside of the body. These were moved in on the center part of it. And the reason why, doing maybe 150 miles an hour, sometimes the wipers would kind of clash like this. So they moved it from the outside into the inside. This way they slide like this way they don't clash anymore. So that was also a telltale sign when we found this car converted back to a street driver. We stripped that area there, and sure enough, the hole was there, because at one time somebody converted back to the outside of the car.
That's awesome. You know what? Somebody asks me every single time they look at this car, what's this little light do? It's real simple, right?
Well, we have 3 identical cars, numbered 1, 2, and 3, which is really cool. I mean, typical American colors, red, white, and blue. So with actually identification lights actually going around the track, you can see the little lights on the car, and that's why you can identify the car itself.
Another cool thing, the exhaust.
Exhaust is just really, really, really neat. You get that thumping sound, you know, when you start up and revving here, and it's just really slick. And actually, when we stripped that car down here, the patch area where they used to be, we just popped it out, and that actual cutout was still there.
And another feature. I mean, the car just keeps going on. The more you walk around, the cooler it is. Another light.
Well, the light itself actually identified the number on the car, because of course at nighttime, how you can see the car at nighttime? So the light would actually reflect off the number, and you can see what number it was.
It's just a cool car. I'm amazed by it, and again, I'm so thankful to own it.
Well, I tell you, it was a team effort. We have a shop called Corvette Repair in Valley Street, Long Island, New York, and I tell you, if it wasn't for my team, we wouldn't be today standing here looking at this car, because it really took a tremendous amount of hours. We had about almost 4,000 man-hours on this car here. It took probably at least over 100 people just to help us out getting certain artifact parts for the car and hunting things down. It was really a team effort from a lot of Corvette enthusiasts around the country.
Well, great job. And I know that you always thank your team. You're a smart man, because obviously I know you don't do it all, but the work they do is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of passion, and we really had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, it's an honor for me to represent all the people who have worked on this for 2+ years, all the great engineers and the people in Bowling Green who made the car. But this event is very special for Detroit, and to be able to drive the pace car, just thrilled. My favorite part about driving the new C7 Stingray as the pace car here, we have something in the car called active res matching. And so what that does is it blips the throttle, and so it matches the gear perfectly for you, and it makes expert drivers out of everybody. So for me, that is the most satisfying new feature of the new Stingray. Oh, the track's changed this year, as you know, but I love this track, and Bud Danker and Roger Penske have added about 0.3 miles here to it, so we're going to see some straights and passing, and for me, that new piece of the track is really my favorite part. To look in the rearview mirror and see all that horsepower and the Chevrolet technology that goes into these new generation of Indy cars is just fantastic. It's like no other experience in the world.
The Pace Car Registry was formed at the National Corvette Museum's first Pace Car reunion in 2001. Prior to that, there was a registry for the 1978 Pace Car replicas and also a registry for the 1995 Pace Car registries. In 2001, we decided that we should incorporate both groups, and the Pace Car Registry was founded. Our mission is to document and preserve all the pace car information that we can possibly have for the next generations to come. This collection of cars that we have right here are all Indianapolis 500 pace car or pace car replicas. This particular venue wanted the cars to be as authentic as possible, including the strobes. This is the only time that that all 12 pace cars have been on location at one time. The majority of the cars that are on display today are our members' cars, our enthusiasts that have purchased the pace cars and maybe upgraded them to put the strobe lights on that the actual pace cars have.
Yeah, this 2007 Corvette was one of my dreams. It started in 1972. I had a Ontario orange Corvette, which I lost in a fire in 1996. And I always wanted another one, but I was waiting for a color like this to come back. When it finally did in 2007, I started searching the internet. And after 2 years of searching, I found this car that had been at Indianapolis. It was a festival car. And my wife and I agreed this is the one. The 2007 Corvette is called Atomic Orange. It's slightly different than Ontario Orange of 72, but very close. It's a metallic with a special coat, which was an extra $200 option, and just gave it a hue that a lot of people liked, including me. This car was ridden on by Jeff Simmons, who was one of the drivers at Indy. In 2011, we went back to Indy at the 100th anniversary, and we took General Peter Sorelli, who is the second in command of the U.S. Army, rode on the back in the festival parade. We attend a number of different shows every year. We kind of pick them carefully. Bloomington Gold is one of our favorites. We trailer it to places so we don't have to put a lot of miles on it, but then we do get out and drive it. So it's got 5,000 miles on it.
I used to beg my dad to go down to the Denoyer Chevrolet in Kalamazoo and look at the new cars, and they always had the Corvette in front and center in the showroom, always covered up, a new car, new car. So every August, September, when the new cars came out, I was bugging the dad, I need to go down, see the new cars. I found it in Hemmings Motor News in 2002. The guy had an ad in there and it said, possible track car. So I made a call to him and he told me to call somebody else. I ended up calling Al Unser Sr. And he told me this is Marie George's car. Got it shipped back to Kalamazoo and been buying memorabilia and getting the things for it, other artifacts with it, and I ended up meeting Al Unser himself. And I had him sign a lot of stuff for me and became real good friends with Al. Childhood dream. Everything's original on it. 2003, I brought it down here and I got Bloomington Gold certificate. It's a working piece of art. That's what I call it. These older cars are a working piece of art.
We're going to welcome Michael Brown back to Corvette Nation, a gentleman who spends a lot of his time just traveling the globe, searching out some of the most outstanding Corvette collections in existence. So where have you been lately?
Well, this time, Bill, we've actually been overseas. Now, we all think of Corvette as America's only true sports car, which of course it is, but it's a popular brand all over the world. And in this edition of Corvette Nation, we take you to, of all places, the Netherlands, with a father-son team having one of the largest Corvette collections on the planet.
The collection, located in the small Dutch village of Weesp, numbers at least 100 Corvettes, all displayed in generational groupings, starting with the C1s and pushing forward through the C6s. And like most of us, Andre started with one Corvette more than 20 years ago, and one thing led to another.
You bought one Corvette and then you think, okay, I have one. And 1 month later, somebody say, okay, I have a big block, a 74 with a 454 engine in it. I think that's the Corvette, I will have that. I bought that Corvette 1 month later.
Right, Andre, we know the drill. Who can resist? Andre Boer and his 3 sons are Corvette guys through and through. They not only collect, live, and breathe Corvettes, they work on Corvettes brought to them for repair from all over Europe. Andre's affinity for vets started simply enough, more than 20 years ago, when he opened a magazine.
I saw a picture of the Marco Shark 2, and I thought, wow, that is a nice car. With a big engine in it, a 7-liter, 427 cubic inch was it, and I think that car is what I will have in the future. But what I did not know, it was a prototype car. But luckily, they came also the C3 Corvette, and yeah, that is what you see in here.
And there's a lot more of what you don't see in several warehouses nearby. Dozens of wrecked and partially restored Corvettes fight for space, along with an expansive collection of spare parts, wheels, and Corvette accessories. The Boer family truly is a Corvette family. Andre's 3 sons, Michael, Martijn, and Johan, can usually be found with their collective heads under the hood of a Corvette.
Repair Corvettes here in the Netherlands. My oldest son, Johan, is about 10 years with us in our shop. And my second son, Martijn, about 5 years. And all of 3 of us, we working all day on Corvettes. We repair Corvettes, we make Corvettes ready for our own collection. And sometimes we have double models, then we sell also the Corvettes.
The ones they don't sell are what makes up this incredible corral of Corvettes in a place far away from Corvette's beginnings. Andre Boer loves them all, but admits when pressed he has a favorite generation.
The favorites are the mid-years, the 63 to 67. That are my favorite Corvettes.
And the star of his Corvettes from the brand's shortest generation is a 67 Roadster, a multiple award winner and the first big block he ever acquired.
It is the most valuable car. It is a very special combination. The car is black with a red stinger, red interior, F41 suspension. It had original aluminum wheels on it, the side exhaust, the hardtop, everything. The car had running 34,000 miles on it.
Another favorite is a yellow C6 Z06, one of the first imported to Europe.
It's officially a pre-production car. It is the first CO6 that is made with the Euro specs on it. It was the 4th CO6 from the production line. The car is specially fly over in May 2005 to represent the Corvettes on Lemans.
So, with a staggering collection representing multiple entries of each of the first 6 generations of Corvette, what more could Andre possibly want that he doesn't have? Well, there is that decidedly non-muscle but iconic first-year Corvette that has eluded him so far.
Maybe in the future, sometimes we pick up a 1953 Corvette.
I suspect we can consider it done.
At every major Corvette event, you will find the Mid-America Motorworks tent, and inside, anything Corvette you can get. Betsy, what can people expect?
Well, Mid-America Motorworks has everything for the Corvette, but we also have everything for the Corvette lover. So anything from apparel to gifts, apparel for women, apparel for men. We also like to talk about our Fun Fest events, and we're all about creating relationships with the customer.
Well, it's basically a catalog on wheels. Make sure you check them out at the next big event.
Hey, this is Bill Stevens for Maria Prekagis and Michael Brown. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Corvette Nation.